Bunbury for the first time. It's amazing. I went to the beach early today, walked on the beach. It was beautiful there. It's cleaner, as well as that. There's a lot of ships there. We went and had a look around Bunbury. It was beautiful in Bunbury. We went to the dolphin aquarium. That was amazing. We've had a little tour around the dolphin area. We got to see a female dolphin there. So we had a look around there. So we had a good morning this morning. We're finally at where we're staying right now at the moment. I would like to talk about the Wildcats game for the semis. This is the lineup for these two teams at RAC Arena. So we've had Jesse Wagstaff, Pinder, number 35, David Sard, he played minutes, and Carl Simic for a few minutes. So we've got lining up for the first quarter, we've got Usher, Doolittle, Cotton, Webster and Pinder. They started off really slow because of the game as well. We've had 5 fouls, as well as Tasmanian. They had 5 fouls. They had Doyle on Drimmick, Dang, Will Magnay and Crawford. They had 5 fouls, and we've got 2 times out as well. The second quarter we've had the same players, but we mixed it up a bit. We got Sard as well coming off bench, Jesse coming off bench, Usher as well. They played a few minutes on court. Bryce was very quiet for the first 2 quarters. We've had 3 fouls in the 2 minutes as well, and as well as the other team, they had 3 fouls as well. We've only had 1 timeout left, but they didn't have any times out left, and the score was 46 to us to 43 to them. It was a very close game in the second half. The third half of the quarter, we crept them up as well as 62 to 58. We've got Sard, Jesse, Ty Wester, Doolittle and Usher. And both the teams got 4 fouls on that one. And then after that, the last quarter, we pretty much we've won that game over the weekend. So that was a surprising game to win. As well as that, I'll tell you the scores of the other game against Melbourne and the Hawks. That's going to go to game 3. That was the surprising moment to see how the Hawks bounced back from the other game, the first game. They came back 113 to 108. I'll tell you the stats of that game as well. We've got Greg Clark with 31 points with the Hawks, and Matthew Dellavedova's got 20 points. You can tell the actual sheet is pretty much tell you who's actually won, who was the better side on the day. That was at the Entertainment Centre on sometime the other day. And then we've got a game in hand, Tassie versus Wildcats at Tassie. We need to win this one to lock up grand finals berth. We're clearly not favourites because of we're not playing at home. it's Tassie's home game. If we lose this one, we can go to game 3. And that'd be on Wednesday night at 6:30 at RS Arena to lock up a grand final berth. As well as that, there's a Tassie player is possibly not playing today, or could be possibly not playing their third game for the semis because of the whack of what he did to Jordan Usher. There was a big fight as well too because of the shot as well. He played guilty as well, so he can't play. In the news, Tassie have signed a Will Magnay for another 2 more years at the helm. While there's finals already alive. That's all at the moment. The Lynx won of the weekend. If they win Thursday night, they can claim their first ever championship for a long time since they've begun as well as a club. So we've got that, and we've got Melbourne versus the Hawks on Wednesday night for game 3. We clearly want the Hawks to win. So we don't have to play Melbourne, because if Melbourne wins, they get a home court advantage because they finish higher than Perth. We want the Hawks to win so we can get a home court advantage in game 1 and 3 and maybe 5. So we can claim the title as well. So we've got that as well. The Western Force are not doing that well this year. They've lost the last 3 games, including at home. They're back at home this weekend for the next 2 games. They need to bounce back. They're a new team, but they've just getting a routine of playing with a new coach as well. So give them some credit with that as well. They've got some new players, as well as that. And so we've got that. As well as that, we've had the actual, I don't know what you call it, but we've had a AFL game round last weekend. I'll tell you the games we've had, but Collingwood had a big scare against the Giants. They're looking really good on paper. They're looking really good. I watched the whole game of it. Credits to Giants to get them over the line over the last year's premiers. 32 points, 114 to 82. They've put on a show that they could not even do. That was a rematch for the prelim from last year. Callum had 5 goals. He was one of the Giants' new player. Josh Kelly out with injuries. Who was it? Maynard had 1 goal. Who was? Lockie Schutz missed 3 goals with his new club. Jesse Hogan would kick 4 goals. He could nearly kick 5 goals if he didn't miss. Scott Pennery didn't do anything much. Elliott missed 2 goals. They've played a couple of new players for Collingwood as well. They had two debutants. Giants, pretty much the bench line, they've won. Tom Green got 1 goal. Tom Mitchell was the sub for Collingwood, and Callum Wenhard, whatever his name is, from the Giants, he was a sub out with injuries. So pretty much the winning side for the Giants. Now we've looked up. Now we can focus on the real stuff. Now it's the real season now begins. The ladder looks like so far it's Gold Coast on top, Giants second, Sydney third, Carlton fourth, Adelaide fifth, haven't played a game yet, Bombers, Fremantle, these are the teams that haven't played. So Adelaide, Bombers, Fremantle, Geelong, Hawthorn, North Melbourne, Port, St Kilda, West Coast, Bulldogs, Brisbane. Brisbane has played, but they're fourth last, but we've got Melbourne, and then we've got Collingwood second last, and then Richmond last. So, yeah, so we've got round one that starts Thursday night on the 14th of March. We've got Carlton and Richmond at the MCG. Then we've got Friday night blockbuster Collingwood and Sydney at the MCG. Essendon versus Hawthorn on Saturday morning at Melbourne. Then we've got, in Sydney, we've got the Giants versus North Melbourne. We've got Geelong versus St Kilda in Geelong. Then we've got Gold Coast and Adelaide at Gold Coast. Then we've got Melbourne versus Bulldogs. Those two are rivals as well since the 21 grand final. Then we've got West Coast and Port. West Coast at $8, while Port at $1.08. And then we've got the last game of the round one. We've got Fremantle versus Brisbane. We're playing against last year's runners-up in the grand final last year. Yeah, so we've got that as well too. So it's gonna be an interesting season. How teams are gonna go. Yeah, we're gonna see how the team's gonna act, and yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see how teams can go and see how the new players can act with the coaches, and we can see who's going to be a better team this year and who's the worst team of this year. Clearly, I've got the new book in the West as well. That was in a couple of weeks ago. This tells you roughly who's they reckon who's going to be finals or who's going to be premiers. It's got areas about Fremantle, about Simo and JL if they can keep their season alive. And it just tells you all these different players that can top 25 AFL stars as well. So we've got, let's say we've got some players like Toby Green, Dacos, Bontempelli, Charlie Colonel, Zach Butters, Sam Wash, Chris Matraka, Lockie Neal, Connor Rosie, Team English, Dawson, Jeremy Cameron, and all these other ones that we can think of, like Caleb Sarong from Fremantle, Jordan DeGoey from Collingwood, Jack Viney, all these top 25 players. And then these are the ones that voted for the McDonald's tipping. So we've got Andrew Barrick, he's tipped for Brisbane to win the premiership, Hawthorn to be Winspooners, and the Brownlow medal is Bontempelli from Bulldogs, Anna Hayes, Ben Cousins, we've got Samantha Rogers, Ryan Daniels, Craig McDonald, we've got all these, and as well as Caitlin Bassett as well. And then we've got team passes as well, big stories, top 10 marks of their matches as well. We've got these, and then we've got the game as well. All that Eagles and all that, how they can change. And then we've got the Doctors fixtures. So we've got, lining up this week, we've got Brisbane at home. Then we've got North Melbourne away at Marvel, round 2. Then round 3, we've got Adelaide here in Perth. Then we've got Adelaide, we've got Carlton in Adelaide. Then we've got Port in Adelaide Oval. That's a Saturday night game. Round 5. Round 6, we've got West Coast in the Derby. So that's going to be a West Coast home derby. We've got Bulldogs at home. Then we've got Richmond at the MCG. Then we've come back and play Sydney, St Kilda, Collingwood here. Melbourne away. And then we've got a bye round 13, Bulldogs, Gold Coast here, Sydney, Richmond here, Tassie, Hawthorn. Then we've got Melbourne here. Then we've got West Coast, that's our home derby, round 20. Essendon round 21 at the MCG. Then we've got Geelong Cats here, round 22. 23 we've got Giants away. Then finish off the season again. We've got Port Adelaide here, and then we've got West Coast games. So we've got pretty much the same as us, but they don't play Port over here. So they play Port Adelaide over there at Adelaide Oval. They've got a different bye than us because they don't clash against us. This is the future of Fremantle. So that's the future of Fremantle, that's the listings. As well as that, you got Lights, Camera, Jackson. Alex Pearce is our captain now. So this is the best 23 we've got. Brendan Walker, half-lined. Half-back, we've got Jordan Clark. In the centre, we've got Nathan Adrusso. We've got half-forward, we've got Switter. Forward, we've got Jackson. We've got Amos, Tracy, Fife, Coxie, Alex, Ryan, Aish, Chappell, and Frederick, and Sonny. And then we've got the others as well too. We don't care about Collingwood after winning the flag. Not even Brisbane. Port have just come off a pretty much a devastating finals hope alive last year. They finished third of the wind up. So best and fairest, they got Zach Butters. Butters was the highest voting for the Brownlow medal for 27 points. The biggest margin they've got is 55 points versus Hawthorn. The worst loss was 71 points against Collingwood. And the highest goal scoring was Jeremy Finlayson with 38. Yeah. And there's some articles about St Kilda, Carlton, Sydney, Giants, Adelaide, Bulldogs. There's all about how they can improve this year. So we've done that as well as that. So we've gone to that, all that. So we've done that. So last week we went to mini golf at behind Canfield. So we've done that. You have to go to Canfield. Behind the Canfield, there's a golf course. They're building a restaurant near where the behind the Canfield. But when you walk from Crown Casinos, there's a golf course. It's $25 for an adult. You can take your companion card with you. There's 18 holes. It's really fun to play. I recommend you guys all to do it. It's amazing to see if we can have people there like the Wildcats, the Dockers, the Fever Girls, and all the other sporting events. Let's hopefully they can get a crowd this year up the stadium this year because of the golf course as well. I'm here with my Matt as well, my support worker. So I'm here until Thursday. So if you want to ask me any questions why I'm here in Bunbury, I just want to have a change of scenery because I've never been to Bunbury. So I just want your recommendation on what stuff to do in Bunbury and yeah. And so if you follow me on Instagram and Facebook and all these other things as well, except for Twitter and all that, make sure you share all these videos on my social page. Keep up to date with what I'm doing. So this is my first and only podcast live, somewhere that's different for a change, out of country. I'm still Western Australia, but I just want to get out of St. Bart's for a couple of days and do a podcast here. It's beautiful in Bunbury. I didn't know it was going to be that beautiful until I now see everything. Like the scenery is all beautiful. It's all clean. People are really nice. It's beautiful to see how Bunbury's changed. Because I hear a lot of people that saying it's so good. I just want your advice on where to go and what things to do in Bunbury. And Jaden, if you want to catch up with me before I go back to the city, I won't be here too long until Thursday, hopefully. If you want to catch up with me, Jaden, you can call me or message me. We can catch up somewhere and we'll do something together. It's been a while since I've seen you. As well as that, we've got a game on to play at 4:30. Best of luck, Wildcats. I've spoken to you, John, really. You said to me that we can get it done in game 2. I've looked at the history between us and Tassie over there. Last time we played them, we've lost against them. I don't know if we could have a game 3 here in Perth. I'm hoping we don't have to go to game 3. I just hope we can just go straight to the grand final and lock it up, and then we can just wait for the winner between Melbourne and the Hawks. And then after that, it'll be straight on to Fremantle season. I'm hoping some of our boys can turn it around and hopefully we can win it away from home. We've won championships when we finished second on the ladder. We've done that so many times with Trevor Gleeson. We can put anything together because we're strong as one. So we can do anything we can do. We've got the right players. Jesse is about to play his nearly 500 games. If he signs one more year, he should have at least less than 10 games left to play. until he reaches 500 games. Hopefully he resigns with the club next year. I'm hoping we can get him back on board next year and reach that milestone game. He'll be the first one to do it in the franchise since we've retired Ricky Grace, Crawford, and Scott Fisher and all that as well. So, it'd be amazing to see as well as Sean Redditch as well, but he didn't reach it as much. So let's see if we can get Jesse up there to 500 milestone games for the club. It'll be amazing to see him to continue his career here in Perth. He said he loves the fans. He loves hanging out with the true fans. He's really the nicest guy ever. I've got to speak to him on my podcast. That's pretty much nearly got to 200 views. So I hope you guys watching it as well. I'll have my own podcast website as well. I'll have that as well. So it'd be amazing to see all my friends sharing all my stories, and I just can't believe it. I'm actually doing this. I'm hoping I can try and get this as a part-time job. I'm loving this, the way I'm doing this. This is so much fun. On the 6th of April, I've got a podcast I'm doing live from East Fremantle against Peel Thunder Waffle W girls against East Fremantle girls. So I've got some of the girls that I wanted to talk to and interview them. Steve, I want to interview as well, Coach of the Year award as well. So I'm hoping I can get you on board. It'd be amazing to see you and hopefully get some questions out of you, Steve. Some of the girls as well for Peel. I'm sorry I couldn't be there against the Swannies. I used to play for the Swannies in the integrated team last year as well, or the year before that. I played 2 games with them, so congratulations to the Swan Districts on the girls as well. We played them Negroni, we beat them. That was when we had Steve as well. So shout out to you, Steve, and we'll eventually catch up with you soon for a drink if you want. So thank you very much for listening, and keep up the updates with all that as well. So make sure you keep up to Facebook and everything. I'll be posting this, and there's going to be photos and videos of the things that I'll be doing. So this is where I'm staying at the moment. There'll be photos of it. The area where I'm staying at the moment. So I'll be watching it. The Wildcats game out here in Bunbury. So hopefully, fingers crossed, we can get the job done. It'd be amazing to see how we can show the NBL that any team can do it from second spot to win the championship. We've done it a couple of times with Trevor Gleeson. We've won 10 titles. We've probably made something nearly 40 finals. So it'd be amazing to see us to win another championship. Because we now retired Damo's jersey now. So it'll be amazing. And then after that, we've got footy after that. So after the NBL's finished and concludes, we've got the NBL, the AFL, and then we've got the NBL, like the Rockingham Flames and and Gin Wolves as well too. So we've got that season as well too going still. That's about to start soon. Formula One's about to start soon. Western Force season's not doing that great. Glory, they've been struggling this year. Last 4 or 5 years, they've probably haven't made finals since 2019. That was the last time they made a grand final against Sydney as well. So that was at Optus Stadium before COVID. I went to that one. That was a penalty shootout, but we lost the actual cup, the actual plate. We've got some new owners at the Glory, and yeah, so there's not much to say about this week, as well as coming up to round 1 of the AFL season. It all starts Thursday night, prime time. We've got rugby as well that's still going on, as well as that. This is round 2 for NRL as well. And best of luck for the teams for this year. There's some changes as well with the head knocks as well. There's a lot of players have got injuries, and yeah, let's hopefully it could be a good season this year with the AFL and the new owners of the AFL and the head boss of the AFL. They're going to announce the new team for the 2027 season. It's called the Tasman Devils. So that'll be announced as well with the new jerseys. I think they've already got one player that's with them already. So keep up to date with my socials. Everyone, love yous all, and goodbye from live from Bunbury. Thank you.